Hey guys, welcome to the Get Comfy podcast. I'm Madison,
And I'm Rachel.
and today's episode is Get Comfy in the Valleys. So, yes, the past 2 weeks we've been talking about our testimonies, and we wanted to do that before we could do this episode, just because we feel like there's a lot to unpack with this, and this is very important to both of us. But we couldn't do that without first sharing our own stories, because it kind of is the example for what we're talking about, putting those words into practice. Because we just want to talk about the valleys are necessary for you to walk through. So we didn't want to title it Get Comfy with the Valleys, because you shouldn't stay content in that state. But
we don't want to be in the valley.
No, we don't.
But it
is necessary. It is necessary. But before we can explain our thoughts on the importance of the valleys, we definitely do need to understand what the valleys are, why they are necessary. So, first of all, as Christians, we are not called to live the easy life. Like, that is, if you look anywhere in the Bible, that is not the call that has been put on our lives. You are not supposed to have the easy path in life. Look at any of the disciples. Anyone that followed Jesus went through trials and tribulation. None of them had it made for them. And a verse that kind of just exemplifies that is John 16:33. I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart because I have overcome the world. So, that's just his call to us to remain faithful to him in those trials and tribulations, but he doesn't try to fool us saying that you will never encounter them. Because that's definitely not true. And then it's also important to understand that the trials and tribulations that you face are not from God. Like, he is not putting that in front of you. It's not God's doing in a very, got a flip in the Bible, but I did bookmark it so it would be easier. James 1:13 through 15. And remember, when you are being tempted, do not say, God is tempting me. God is never tempted to do the wrong, and he never tempts anyone else. Temptation comes from our own desires, which entice us and drag us away. These desires give birth to sinful action, and when sin is allowed to grow, it gives birth to death. So, the sin is our own flesh. That's our own flesh choice, because we are human, and we are physically of this world. So it is not God's doing in that. Sorry, I just geek out for a second. But and then continuing on in that, if you go back to John 12:31, it says, now is the judgment of this world. Now the ruler of this world will be cast out. Satan is the ruler of this world. He is the ruler of flesh and sin and temptation. He does not want us to succeed in our faithfulness as Christians. So he, as the ruler of our flesh and sin in this world, is the one setting temptation in front of us. And God allows that as, a test of our faithfulness, but he is not the one testing our faithfulness. That is part of the free will that he has given us to make the choice to choose him or to choose the other path. So before we dove in to why we believe it's important to be in the valleys, I just wanted to make it clear that, one, as a Christian, your life is not going to be easy. That is why you go through valleys. And two, God is not the one doing it. So
I think also, the Bible straight up tells us that we're not supposed to be comfortable. And, something I've always, thought about, I think it was, a quote I heard somewhere, or maybe, a TikTok or something, but it said that, when it comes to, being uncomfortable and uncomfortableness, Jesus Christ dying on the cross is the most uncomfortable thing that can ever be done in all of history. So if he can go through that for us, then as Christians, we can endure a little bit of uncomfortableness here. for
For
like
sure.
the greater good.
But we don't always like to do it
No,
by
not
any
at all.
means. At
But
all.
it is necessary, and one of the reasons that I feel like going through the valleys is so important is because it just is really a testament of how strong our faith is
Mm.
and like the depth of our faith and like the authenticity. I can't say that word, but
Authenticity.
1 Peter 1 6-7 says, "You rejoice in this, even though now for a short time, if necessary, you suffer grief in various trials, so that the proven character of your faith, more valuable than gold, which though perishable is refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ."
Mm.
So when we go through the trials, and we go through times of suffering, it does prove the character of our faith, like how we go about those trials and like can we remain joyful in those trials just really, I feel like, speaks to where we're at in our faith. And then also like it even says like they can result in praise, glory, and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ. So like once we get to the point where we can still see Jesus and like feel his presence in the trials, we can give him praise and honor.
And you definitely grow stronger through that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's crazy to think about, because if you were never, and this is just me thinking, like if you were never tested in your faith ever,
Yeah.
then I feel like that shows that you were not a threat to Satan.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. Temptation is an opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
and that it should be seen as such, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I definitely, like, I mean, last week, I was sick again. And I was so tired of being at school. I was like, really do not want to get up today. I don't want to do any of it. And you have to change that mindset to, I have the opportunity to get up today.
Yeah.
And face that challenge, which is
Mm-hmm.
what we should be doing when we're facing those trials in the valleys. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm just going to sit here and complain about it instead of doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes with a thought I had. Well, I had a dream about it. But I feel like so much going back, I mean, because I'm very self-aware of the fact that I did it last week. We are so quick to complain about the valleys that we face and want to do absolutely nothing to get out of it.
Yeah. It's so much easier to literally just sit there.
It's so much easier to sit in the valley than to try to climb to the mountaintop.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's kind of what my whole dream was. We were sitting in the valley.
You and me?
Yes. And we were on this hike trying to get to the top of a mountain. And you know, it's not just a clear shot. Like you have to go over rocks and boulders, and you have to go around trees and bushes, and there's no clear line in sight. Like it is not meant to be easy. That's our trials and tribulations. Several times we took a break and said, no, it's too hard. I can't do this. And, you know, we ended up sliding back down into the valleys.
Mm.
And I feel like that's so important to try to think about when you're in that moment, because you don't know. I heard this said at a conference, and I'm so mad I can't remember where, but it stuck with me. You don't know when your breakthrough is going to happen, because the trees are so thick and the boulders are so big. You can't see over them.
Mm.
So that could be like your last hump to reaching your mountaintop. Or it could be 5 miles from now, but you don't know because you're the one losing faith and you're stopping.
Mm.
And that just hit me so hard.
Like, that's so easy to do. Like, it's so easy for us to feel sorry for ourselves. But, like, okay, something that, like, this just came to mind, but, like, my aunt, hey, but, something, like, my aunt says is, like, if you ask her, like, hey, like, how have you been doing recently? She always says, better than I deserve. Not, like, oh, I'm doing good, like, oh, I've actually had a hard week, like, better than I deserve, because obviously, like, we deserved to be the ones on that cross.
Yeah.
So no matter what we're going through on earth, like, no matter how hard it is still better than what we deserve, which is
The mindset we
death.
should have.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
that just, like, just came to mind just now. But
Seeing it as an opportunity is very, very hard. Going back to something you said just about in First Peter, the
mhm.
praises we'll
Yeah.
receive. Will you read it one more time for me? Sorry.
Yes. So this is 1 Peter 6-7. You rejoice in this, even though now for a short time, if necessary, you suffer grief in various trials, so that the proven character of your faith, more valuable than gold, which, though perishable, is refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ.
The praise, the glory, and honor from Jesus Christ
Mm-hmm.
is the crown that we should be striving for.
Mm.
Like, I'm going to quote James again, but shout out to Truth for walking us through James.
Yeah.
But I would encourage go read at least James 1
Mm-hmm.
because it talks so much about trials and tribulations and how to view them.
Yeah.
And it's just a good book in general. I mean, it all is. But James 1:11 is the hot sun rises and the grass withers, the little flower droops and falls, and its beauty fades away. In the same way, the riches will fade away with all of their achievements. So, and I feel like that's something, all of the worldly stuff that we see, all of our achievements, your girl over here having to be perfect, all of our achievements, all of our worldly possessions that we strive, that we save up for, which is not a bad thing to have those goals. But those are some of the things that are keeping us in the valley.
Mm.
When in reality, none of that will matter once we get to heaven.
Yeah.
Like, God is not going to ask us or say, good job on raising the money to buy that. That was so cool.
Yeah. I feel like I really struggle, like with money. Like, there was, like, a concert I wanted to go to, and, like, the tickets are, like, $700, and I was genuinely debating on going, and then I sat here, and I was like, there are people in other countries, like, starving, and I'm like, I could spend that money, like, I could donate it.
Yeah.
But I'm over here, like, worrying about a concert. That was very convicting for me.
Mm.
Very humbling.
Even with, like, the book we just purchased.
Yeah.
Because I have a list. I just love to read in general. And so I had a list. I was like, I'm going to save up for, like, these 4 books to put on my bookshelf to start reading. I haven't even finished the ones that I have on my shelf now. But I just love to read. And I had a couple of devotionals and stuff saved. But I was like, well, I wouldn't have enough money to buy those 2. I sat there. I was like,
yeah.
Which ones should I be purchasing?
Yeah.
Even with stuff like that.
Like, I have this fat book called A Little Life. And I was like, there's a lot of words in here. I was like, those are words I could be reading in the Bible. Like, all this time it would take to read me this book, which I'm probably not going to read it. But, like, that's time I could be, like, spending with the Lord. But, yeah, we just got the book, The Fruit Pursuit, written by our friend Hannah Brown. So check it out.
Yep. But, like, those are simple things.
Yeah.
That continue to hold you in the valley. And, like, I'm not saying you have to be perfect, because no one ever will be. You're never not going to make a mistake. That's not at all what I'm trying to say. But those little decisions affect your mindset and add up.
Yeah.
Like, and that is what is going to hold you back from reaching your mountaintop. So, again, I know it might sound a little confusing. The valleys are important. You do have to go through them, but it's important that you don't get comfortable with sitting in the valley.
Yeah.
You should understand their purpose, why it's happening, and stay faithful through it, but you should not be content sitting where you are, because that is your opportunity for growth, and if you're content, you're not growing.
Yeah.
Also, being in the valley makes you appreciate
his
rewards so much better.
Yes.
I mean, that's literally all we talked about with our testimonies. All our testimonies are the ups and downs of life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, like, me personally, like, I feel like me going through, like, the valleys and, like, trials I did and, like, seeing the Lord, like, deliver me from, like, certain, like, sins I was living in and just, like, delivering me out of, like, depression and anxiety, like, me, I feel like that just made my love grow for him, like, to be so much stronger. And, like, it was just, like, very much a reminder for me, like, how much he loves me and, like, that he is always there and that we can trust him.
yeah, I mean, because, I mean, it's, again, tying back to our other episodes, but we tried going through the valleys without his help.
Yeah, and it did not work.
I'll say it.
It
And
did
what
not
did
work
we
for
do?
me.
We slid back down the mountain and sat
Yeah.
in the valley.
Yeah.
And then we want to sit there and say, why am I still here?
Yeah.
It's because you're trying to do it on your own. You're not working through it with your faith. Because like I said, I don't know how many verses ago, but it is an opportunity. Again, James 1, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy.
Yes, and then I'm gonna continue with that onto verses 3 and 4. I'll read the whole thing.
Go for it.
Sorry.
No, go for it. Sorry.
Consider it a great joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you experience various trials, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let endurance have its full effect, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing.
Mm.
So, without going through those trials and valleys, we don't learn how to persevere and endure through them, and that doesn't help us mature. Like going through the valleys.
Spiritually.
Yes. Going through the valleys and having that endurance and perseverance and trusting the Lord through the valleys helps us become more mature in our faith.
That's good. Sorry.
And like another, oh, I'm gonna have to find it in my Bible. Another verse that I felt like really went with that was Romans 5,
Mhm.
3 through 5, which is, and not only that, but we also boast in our afflictions, because we know that affliction produces endurance. Endurance produces proven character, and proven character produces hope. This hope will not disappoint us, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who is given to us.
Mm.
Which First Peter also talked about proven character, and then like James talked about the endurance. So I feel like that's kind of cool too, that it just ties together Romans, James, and First Peter.
I mean, the Bible all interconnects, and it hurts my head sometimes when I'm like, oh my gosh. But
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it. You know, it, and I know, sorry, we're probably all over the place this episode, but there's just so
There's
much.
so much to say.
There's so much about the topic that we are talking about.
Yeah.
You know, as you were talking, I was like, you know who's a perfect example of this? And I thought about it earlier this week, and I didn't write it in my notes.
Who?
Job.
I don't know that much about Job, not gonna lie.
Okay, so Job, very faithful man.
Okay.
And so it's a hard book to kind of read because it's kind of a conversation
Okay.
and dialogue,
Yeah.
but it's God and Satan not really go back and forth because God always wins, but just Satan basically says, well, if he didn't have this, like if this was taken away from him, he wouldn't believe in you. And so God allows him to take that from Job.
Mm.
Job continues to be faithful. He ends up taking all of his land, all of his housing. He takes his family. He takes his health. Like, think about going from where we are sitting right now, being put out on the street, having nothing to your name, losing your family, and being so chronically sick you can't do anything about it. And Job still chose to praise God even through those trials and tribulations. And his friends even questioned him, like, why? Why believe in a God who's clearly not caring for you? But Job continued to have that faith and knowing that it was not God's doing and that he would reward him. Like, is that not just the perfect example of all of what we're talking about?
Yeah. I think the trials, like, they help us, like, I mean, they really do, like, help us grow our faith. Like, when I, like, was younger.
If you choose to walk that path.
Yes. Like, I feel like I, like, questioned God a lot. But, like, once he, like, delivered me from, like, the depression I was in, that, like, I talked about in, episode 3, like, if I hadn't, like, gone through that, I don't think I would, like, I, like, believe in him as much as I do, if that makes sense. Like, now, I'm able to, like, I have, like, my faith, and, like, there's no question
You
about
now
it.
understand that you need him.
Yeah, and, like, I also, like, I don't doubt God. Like, I feel like before, like, sometimes, like, I feel like a lot of people, like, we doubt, like, oh, how can I know for sure that, like, God's real? But, like, for me, like, that's my way that I know he's real.
But like I said, like, it's important to understand that he's not the one testing us.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to just say, well, this
Yeah.
is your fault. Why are you doing this? Like Job's friends saying,
Like, we're his children. I mean, he doesn't want to see us go through the pain and
No.
suffering. But since we do have free will from sin, like, he does allow those things to happen, but he doesn't make them happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's like your parent. You keep begging them to do something and them saying no, 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 no.
Mm.
And then saying, well, like, I want to ride my bike without my training wheels. You're not ready. Saying, well, you keep asking, so okay. And then you fall.
Yeah.
Like that, I cannot think of a better example because
good.
I'm just such a visual learner.
I'm
like, I have to
not.
think through it. But, yeah, think about that, though. Sadly, we have to learn the hard way sometimes, which is not fun.
Yeah.
Ever. But it is very necessary. I want to talk about the song.
Okay.
That kind of inspired this whole episode.
Yeah.
Because, people say they have life verses.
I remember when you showed me this song.
Yes. This is kind of, I'm going to pull up the lyrics. This is kind of my life song.
Okay.
This along with a couple others. I don't have one. I have multiple. But
that's okay.
This is the one we're focusing on right now. Make sure it doesn't just start playing into the microphone. But, yeah, because it would have started playing into the microphone. Okay. So, it's called Flowers by Samantha Ebert. Yeah. And I know we're making a lot of recommendations this episode, but James 1, Job, this song really wraps up what we're talking about. But it talks about the blue skies, hillsides feel so far away, and I wrote in my notebook that I've seen better days. I can't bear the weight. And it just keeps talking about, the hard days. And she says, I wish something would change because I'm losing faith. So I brought it up in a desperate prayer. Lord, why are you keeping me here?
I just got chills.
Then he said to me, child, I'm planting seeds. Yeah. I'm a good God and I have a good plan. So trust that I'm holding the watering can. Mm. And someday you'll see that flowers grow in the valley. Again, just a very visual person, so understanding that, holy crap, me trying to fix my own problems holding the watering can, it's not going to work. Mm-mm. Not going to work. And then at the end of the song, because that's kind of the chorus that leads up to it, but then the end it says, when I'm on the mountain looking down below, I'll see a valley of flowers that needed time to grow. And I'll thank you for the rain, the hurt and days of pain. And I'll bring it up in a grateful prayer. Thank you, Jesus, for keeping me there. You knew just what I need. How difficult is it to say, thank you for letting me go through that?
I feel like in the moment, like, that's so hard. Like, I think, like, we never think to, like, when we're in the valley, like, we don't think, like, thank you for letting me go through this because I know, like, you're going to use it for good later.
No, we're
I feel
worried
like
about ourselves.
yeah, but like I feel like once you're out of it, it's easier to thank him for letting you go through something. But I feel like it also just kind of depends on the person.
I mean, yeah. It definitely requires you being strong in your faith to acknowledge the fact, you know what?
I needed
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing that to happen.
Mm.
But that's still like, I mean, I just, again, putting myself in the shoes of a lot of the people within the Bible who did that, who said, thank you for letting me go through this. If I was going through that, I would not.
Yeah.
Like, just being real, it
Yeah.
would,
Me too.
I wouldn't. I mean, because we face nothing like they do today, you know, for the cause of Christ. And so it's just very humbling to be like, hmm. And so I kind of tear up every time I listen to that song. So I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I should be grateful for everything that I am going through because I am alive today and I have the opportunity to reach someone for Jesus. Like that, whether I feel good, whether I'm sick, whether I've got all of this other crap going on, I have that opportunity. So thank you. It's just not easy to do.
Mm-mm.
And I will point out, just because going through the lyrics on that song, she says, understand that they needed time to grow. Just again, clarifying, you do have to go through the valleys in life. And that does take time,
Yeah.
but you should not be content in that. Like, I just feel like that's something so important to reiterate, even though I know I've said it, because being willing to just sit there because you're like, well, I know I have to go through it, so I'm going to wait on you to fix it for me. No.
We have to put in the work ourselves.
Yes. He is going to be there and he is going to help you through that
Yeah.
and overcome it because he's, like you said, he has overcome the world. But
We can't rely like
yeah, that is
we
your
have
own,
to put in work too.
that is your own ignorance. If you're like, well, I know he's going to deliver me, so I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. You cannot do that.
Yeah.
Because then you will just be stuck in that valley forever, never growing, never getting anywhere else. I don't know that I have. We were trying to fit so much in
Yeah, I have like
that
one more
okay,
like
go for it.
so Psalm 23 is
Love.
like my favorite passage. When I was just like going through a lot my freshman and sophomore years of college, like that is like what I would read like every day. Like I even made it my lock screen so like I could just like literally turn my phone on and read it. But um Psalm 23:4 says, even when I go through the darkest valley, I fear no danger, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I really like this verse because it does use like the word valley. But I think it just reminds us that we can find comfort in the Lord when we're in the valley. And like the hardships remind us that even when I'm going through something, I can still his presence is still there and I can find comfort in that.
Yes.
And one of my friends like wrote next to that verse in my Bible, the Lord is always here to provide even in the darkest valleys. There is joy in the house of the Lord.
Mm. All I can think about is I'm scared of the dark, so that's hard. But yeah, it's not easy.
But knowing like when we do go through the darkest valleys, like the presence of his light is always there. So we are never truly completely in the dark.
No. And the closer you are to him, I mean, he's walking with you to the
Yeah.
mountaintop. He's not going to leave you in the dust.
Mm-mm.
Um, but you have to make that choice to say, hey,
Yeah.
praying and asking and spending time with him saying, hey, I know that you can. Can you help me through this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is a two-way relationship, believe
Yeah.
it or not. With like all relationships,
Yeah.
not just romantic or friendships. All relationships are two-way, and that is not an exception with God.
Mm-mm. Like
He wants to be there.
We have to work towards growing. Like we can't just expect to grow in our faith without
Mm-mm.
putting in the work. Like he will help you grow, but
It's like studying for a test.
yeah.
You're gonna fail the test. I might
Yeah.
still fail it after studying, but
Mm.
you're gonna fail the test if you don't
Yeah.
put in the work.
It's like your
You have that
teacher
information.
gives you the information, you have to study it. He gives us the word.
Mm.
We have to study it and listen to it to grow and learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's an episode I've been wanting to do, but I knew there was so much.
Yeah, really just
So-
like a lot to unpack.
I do apologize for being all over the place. I tried to write it all out so that I could be like, okay, talk about this in order so it'll make sense. Did not follow that.
That's okay.
It's okay.
You know, the
It's okay.
information.
Yes.
Still got
But
there.
know that God is not putting you through it.
Yeah.
He is not the one tempting you. Know that trials will occur if you choose to follow Christ.
They're necessary.
They are necessary. Know that He is with you, but
Mhm.
know that you still have to put in the work.
Yeah.
I think are really good takeaways from that. Not to sound like a pastor giving you 5 points, but
These are the 3 points of my sermon.
hey, I didn't do 3, I did 5. So, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's all I have. If that's all you have,
Yeah, that's all I got.
whose turn is it to pray out? Mine or yours? Okay.
It's mine.
Okay.
All right. So, I'm going to pray us out. Dear Jesus, thank you for allowing us to go through the valleys and trials that we do. Thank you for allowing those to be learning experiences for us and for us to grow in our faith. I pray for anybody that is going through the valleys right now, that they will be reminded that you are with them and they're going through that valley for a reason. I pray that they will keep enduring to make it to the mountaintop. And I just pray that they'll know you're there and that they can lean on you for support and comfort. Amen.
Amen. Good job. Peep the Christmas socks.
I got a heart and zebras.
My goal is to wear fun socks every episode.
Yeah, I think it was my grandma, but someone commented on that the other day.
I would be happy if I would be known as Comfy Sock Podcast Girl or Crazy Sock Podcast Girl. It's okay.
Got
I was saying I've got my
today,
pink drinks.
but we drink it kind of before we start. So.
And I've got my Christmas candles out, and I made Taylor listen to Christmas music yesterday in the car.
She's not listening.
Nope.
This
but
is us trying to be funny.
Christmas and Easter are the best holidays
Yeah.
because they're all about Christ.
Do you want to say the catchphrase this time? Or do you want me
Thanks
to
for
say it?
getting comfy. I think it's
Alright.